And now, to introduce our guest speaker, I'd like to call on stage or on the podium, Philippine Consul General in Los Angeles, the Honorable Adelio Angelito S. Cruz.
Distinguished guests, colleagues in public service, friends, ladies and gentlemen, mga minamahal ko pong kababayan, I am pleased to introduce our distinguished guest of honor tonight. She is a health and women's rights advocate, a proud activist. She champions the country's basic sectors by embracing feminism, human rights, public health, ecological sustainability, and the protection of the marginalized. She graduated cum laude from the Ateneo de Manila University with a Bachelor of Arts in Social Sciences. Before she was a lawmaker, she was a community organizer and a peace advocate, as well as a successful television journalist and news anchor. In 2001, she received the 10 Outstanding Young Men Award for Peace Advocacy for her work in the peace talks with the National Democratic Front. 4 years later, in 2005, she was one of the 27 Filipinas that joined a group of 1,000 women worldwide who were nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize. She also served as a member of the board of the Philippine Health Insurance Corporation, or PhilHealth, in which capacity she pushed for expanded benefits and coverage, especially for indigents and senior citizens. Before her time in the Senate, she was a two-term party-list congressional representative who worked for the passage of the reproductive health law together with civil society groups and fellow advocates. She was also one of the principal authors of the Cheaper Medicines Law and one of the key sponsors of the Comprehensive Agrarian Reform Program with Extension and Reform Law. Among the legislation she passed are the expanded maternity leave law, the strengthened anti-hospital deposit law, the special protection of children in situations of armed conflict law, the universal health care law, and the Philippine HIV and AIDS policy law. She also stepped up legislation against sexual harassment with the Safe Streets and Public Spaces Bill, as well as proposed amendments to the Philippines anti-rape law. In her private life, she is a solo mother to 4 children with whom she shares her love of music, culture, and the arts. She currently serves in the 17th Congress as the chairperson of the Senate Committee on Women, Children, Family Relations, and Gender Equality, as well as the vice chairperson on the Committee on Health. As the Consul General of the Republic of the Philippines in Los Angeles, it is a singular honor for me to invite to the stage a most accomplished and formidable woman, mother, and legislator. Ladies and gentlemen, mga minamahal na kababayan, please give a very warm Los Angeles welcome to our guest of honor, Senator Ana Teresa Risa Hontiveros Parakel.
Maraming salamat po, Conjen. Maupo po tayong lahat, mga kababayan. Please, dear friends, let's take our seats. Magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat. Good evening to all friends of the Filipino people. At maligayang araw ng kalayaan, mga kababayan. Palakpakan po natin ang ating inang bayan. To Consul General Adelio Cruz, who very kindly met me at the airport when I came in last night. Mayor Cory Kalaycay of the city of Claremont. Council Member Rachel Arizmendi of the city of Sierra Madre. Ooh. Council Member Angie Jimenez of the city of Montebello. Please feel free to applaud our wonderful local government officials. Councilman Jed and Ms. Leaño of the city of Claremont. Of course, Commissioner Abu Lim of the city of Montebello and Ms. Annie Cuevas Lim, 2019 Chair and President of KALAYAAN Incorporated, my very, very gracious hosts from a year ago when they came to my office in the Senate in the Philippines to invite me to this wonderful event. Father Rudel, Mayor Mark and Ms. Gloria Pulido of the city of Cerritos, Council Member Jim Deere of the city of Carson, where I saw our beautiful statue of Gat Jose Rizal, our national hero. Former Council Member Elito Santarina, representing Mayor Robles of the city of Carson. Mr. Kevin James, President of the Board of Public Works, City of Los Angeles. Commissioner Jessica Caloza of the City of Los Angeles. Commissioner Felix Lopez of Los Angeles County. Mayor Pro Temp Salvador Melendez of the City of Montebello. All the other hardworking women and men of the Board of Directors and all members of KALAYAAN Inc. All other leaders of the PhilAm organizations in Southern California, distinguished guests, friends, mga kaibigan, ladies and gentlemen. What a great honor it is for me to address you all tonight at the Gala of KALAYAAN Incorporated. Nabasa ko po ang inyong philosophy, community empowerment in promoting quality of life and the promotion of Filipino culture and heritage through leadership training, team building, and community outreach. As a former community organizer and theater person, these resonate deeply with me. Truly, communities are what we need to tap, to bring forth the change we want to see. And these communities can be in any part of the world, from the inner streets of Manila to sleepy fourth-class municipalities on Panay Island where Daddy is from, to Filipino migrant communities in Europe, to socio-civic PhilAm organizations like KALAYAAN Inc. here in America. When we Filipinos come together, wherever in the world that might be, not only is there lumpia, pansit, and adobo, there is kinship, there is bayanihan, there is a sense of community, history, and country. Ang theme ko daw ngayon ay 121 years of independence, considering that on June 12th, we are celebrating Philippine Independence Day. When one is tasked to talk about Independence Day, perhaps the most obvious direction is to talk about history. To go back centuries, June 12, 1898 to be exact, and commemorate how we won our freedom with blood, with lives lost, with courage and sacrifice, and most of all, with love for a country of our own. But I don't want to look backward, mga kababayan. I want to look forward with you. And I want to talk about how we continue to craft the destiny of our beloved country, create a better future for Filipino families, uphold values of democracy, human rights, and social change. There are many ways that the destiny of a country is crafted. As an incumbent legislator in the Philippine Senate, my contribution perhaps is in the making of laws. Our most important legislative victories over the past 3 years have put us at par with global standards and paved the way for better health outcomes for women and families. I know that as migrant Filipinos, all of you are eager to hear about updates from our Inang Bayan. And I'd like to spend a little time and share some of these victories with you. One of our most important wins is the expanded maternity leave law, which increases the number of paid maternity leave days for Filipino women from the previous 60 to 105. With, yes, palakpakan po natin. Thank you so much. With solo mothers getting up to 120 days leave. Fathers and alternate caregivers too can benefit because the mother can allocate up to 7 days from her maternity leave to her husband or partner or any alternate caregiver. This is significant because before this measure, which we call EML back home, the Philippines had the fewest number of maternity leave days in the entire ASEAN region. Singapore tops the region with 112 days, while Indonesia, Cambodia, and Thailand all have 90-day maternity leaves. I've heard that here in California, qualified female workers can get up to 4 months pregnancy disability leave, and both father and mother can avail of 12 weeks family and bonding time leave. Something for us to learn from there. Now, in the Philippines, more mothers have time to fully breastfeed their children. There's more time to recover from the rigors of pregnancy, and families can bond and collectively participate in the raising of children. Another health-related victory is the mental health law, which is the country's first true national policy on mental health. Through it, mental health programs, yes, palakpakan po natin. I know there are a lot of mental health and health service providers in our midst tonight, so mabuhay po kayo. Through this mental health law, mental health programs will now be established at the community level. Curricula will include age-appropriate mental health education, and a dedicated budget for mental health programs will be allotted. The challenges to mental health don't just lie in treatment, but in the deeper, more cultural divide that prevents those who struggle with mental health issues from coming forward and seeking help. There is, unfortunately, poor health-seeking behavior in the Philippines, especially when it comes to mental health. And through the law, we bring the message that help is finally here, and that those who suffer in silence aren't alone anymore. A third triumph we secured in the 17th Congress is the strengthened Anti-Hospital Deposit Act, which was also successfully passed into law. It increases the penalties of hospitals and medical practitioners who require any form of deposit for treating emergency cases. This squarely addresses, yes, palakpakan po natin, for the rights of patients. This law squarely addresses cases we have personally witnessed of hospitals blatantly asking for deposits before treating their emergency patients. These are just some of our victories in the past 3 years, mga kababayan. All in all, my team and I at the office, together with the efforts of my party, Akbayan, have been able to pass 14 laws in the past 3 years. Maraming salamat. I've been able to do this while playing a fiscalizer role in the Senate, calling out the executive when necessary, protecting our sovereignty and our national interests from mainland Chinese encroachment, as for example, in the West Philippine Sea. As the United States has consistently demonstrated to us, and as it is demonstrating to us now with the fascinating developments over the Mueller report, a democracy to be vibrant and strong needs checks and balances. A President Trump in the White House needs a Pelosi and an AOC in Congress. A President Duterte in Malacanang Palace needs, well, as many independent and strong-minded legislators as can be for the more healthy and more sustainable balance of the democratic systems in every country. But we cannot rely on policies and legislation alone to shepherd our country, the Philippines, towards our collective aspirations. Centuries ago, when independence from Spain was but an audacious, seditious idea in the mind of Jose Rizal, memorialized now in Carson City's Park, in the minds of all our heroes and the heroines, this audacious and seditious idea, pockets of communities like ours were already organizing themselves and dreaming of change. In Malolos, Bulacan, in 1888, a group of 20 women discussed how they would press for educational reforms. In 1892, on Calle Azcárraga in Tondo, Manila, a secret group of men converged, and the Katipunan, inspired by Jose Rizal and led by Andres Bonifacio, was formed. Legislators enact formal policy, communities and groups plant the seeds of change. That's why, for me, it's so important for us to have occasions like these. Occasions when we come together, have a conversation, talk about the things that matter to us and the things that we want for our country. While we may have differing opinions on where our country is going and the current state of governance, we are all bound by our love for the Philippines and our common desire to make lives better for Filipinos. I'm hoping that for you, my dear kababayan, this includes protecting women from misogynistic attacks, preserving our territories and natural resources, yes, from external incursions, protecting innocent people from the excesses at times of our national police, which my late husband was a proud member of, and of our armed forces. Ensuring, yes, I know there are PMAers here, mabuhay kayo, mga sir. Ensuring the freedom of the press, as well as saying no to fake news. We've been free as the Filipino people all over the world for 121 years, and we will be free for centuries more. Hopefully, this freedom also means freedom from poverty, freedom from inequality, freedom from patronage and dirty politics, freedom from Beijing or other foreign over Filipino interests. Marami pong salamat sa inyong lahat, mga kababayan. Maligayang araw ng kalayaan. Mabuhay Kalayaan Inc. Mabuhay po tayong lahat.
Thank you so much, Honorable Risa Hontiveros, for that very inspiring address.